Greetings, everybody. This is Winnie Wriggle, and welcome back to Edentech. We're in episode 12, I believe, and this is going to be the penultimate episode. Probably have one more episode out of this. You'll notice that I'm standing on a brightly colored, awesome block. It's a Draconic energy core. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. First, I need to show off a couple of things that I did off camera. You'll notice there's no longer a crazy power line coming out of our workshop area over to our environmental tech ore miner. That's because I went ahead and did a little bit of mechanism crafting. We started with the basic mechanism machines. I'll just show those to you real quick. We just hooked them into our existing power supply right here, nothing fancy. But we made the metallurgic infuser and the enrichment chamber. So the metallurgic infuser, you can put either redstone or diamonds in it, and it basically infuses substances with those elements, and then you get some of the crafting parts for mechanism from them. If I can find, oh, I think I'm cooking up some, yeah, osmium. So you load it with redstone, and it just magically puts it in there. And if you put a piece of iron in it, we get an enriched alloy. If you put a piece of osmium in it, you get a basic control circuit. And those are two of the primary crafting ingredients for mechanism. The things that we built are the advanced solar generators. A solar generator is actually not that expensive. It takes an energy tablet, which is some of these enriched alloy, redstone, and gold. And then solar panels. And this is where I actually, because it requires so much glass to make these, I went ahead and hooked up our industrial foregoing, oh, I can't remember the name of the block. Material Stonework Factory. That's it. So it's making all of our glass for us. And putting it right into the storage system. So that is the metallurgic infuser, and this is the enrichment chamber. And this is basically, when you're talking about ores, it's the equivalent of your ore duplication mechanism from mechanism, ironically. So you put your ores in here to get ore doubling. So it's not called a crusher, it's called an enrichment chamber. Mechanism does have a crusher, and it's used to crush things like poppies into dye and that such. But for all ores, you need an enrichment chamber. I also added a couple of speed upgrades. I have 4 out of a possible 8, so it's 3 times faster than normal. Anyway, so I did make the advanced solar generators. I made 4 of them, and each of them requires 4 solar generators. So it's not difficult crafting, it's just a lot of materials and kind of a deep crafting recipe, as well as osmium dust. Each of those little suckers produces 200-ish RF a tick. And for our ore miner requires about 660 to do a steady mining activity. So each one of these is doing about 266 in the middle of the day, which is great. So that's about 1,000 RF a tick. And as you can see, the machine has been busy. It's not as fast probably as I did do a little bit of AFKing, like I AFK'd overnight one night to try to get it up to speed. But this tier 1 void ore miner controller, it's a little bit slow. I think it's like 1 ore process per minute. So we're just gonna let that run and do its thing. It is, the good news, it is doing the one thing we needed to do, which is to dig up this erodium crystal for us from the void. And more litherite, which is great. But this is the only source of erodium, is to actually set up one of these ore miners. Now I want to talk a little bit about the power collection system, power storage system from Draconic Evolution. So this is an energy core, and we're going to make, I think, a tier 2 system for today. The energy core is a little bit expensive. It requires a couple of wyvern energy cores and a wyvern core, which does require nether stars, and then a lot of draconium and diamonds and gold. I did more mining off screen. We got about 100 diamonds now, which is still not a lot. So you can right click on the energy core. You'll need to do that to activate it, but you also need it to turn on the build guide. So what we want to do right now, it's set to be a tier 1 energy core. We want to go up 1 to a tier 2, and it tells me the core is invalid. It needs some draconium blocks, and I know for a fact that only needs 6 of these. And this tower was just to have something to set that block on. Part of the reason I'm putting it up so high in the sky is at higher tiers, this thing is huge. It's a giant glowing ball of awesome in the sky. So what we're looking at right now is just the building guide. There's no actual block there. See, when I get close, they disappear. So this just tells us where to put these blocks of draconium in order to make the tier 1. And then we need, I don't think it matters how far these are. 6, I put them at 7 because that's the maximum size the core will eventually be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll delete these cobblestone blocks once I've put these stabilizers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do this all the way around. And you may be wondering why I've just stuck this out in the middle of nowhere. 1, it's a huge item. 2, Draconic comes with some amazing wireless power capabilities. So it doesn't matter where you put your Draconic energy core. You put it wherever it aesthetically appeals to you the most. I've made builds where I've used it as the glowing ball on top of wizard towers. I've stuck it down in a quarry so that it looks like an alien spaceship has landed, because it's very cool once it gets going. And I think we right click any of the energy core stabilizers and it comes up with the same UI, and you just click activate. Now there's no power in here. Isn't that cool? So our energy core has no power, has a capacity of 273 million RF. Yay! And here is our finished setup for our energy transfer from where we're producing energy using our solar array from environmental tech, as well as our spectre coils. So all we had to do is put one of our basic energy IO crystals and set it to input. If you look on the lower right hand side of my screen, you'll see IO mode input. That means there's energy being input into this crystal in order to be moved other places. And then we shift right click on that IO crystal to create a connection to the wireless relay and the basic energy relay. And then do the same thing, shift right click to create a connection to the other IO crystal. This one is set to output. So the energy is coming in from over there and out to here, and it's going into an energy pylon. And an energy pylon is the thing that lets you put energy in and out of your Draconic energy storage system. So I actually have it set, it's not putting it in yet, the way you change the mode, and you'll see the, I guess what amounts to a visual indicator of how it's working. Right now it's trying to push energy out of the core to somewhere, but we don't want it to do that. We want it to put energy in the core. So I'm just going to right click on the glowing blue ball that's floating above it. And you'll see the energy now is coming from this wireless energy connection into the energy pylon and then into our core. So you can see that the core is filling up, which is great. So it's draining the energy cell that we have from thermal expansion. And then as the solar system and our little energy conduits continue to produce energy, it'll continue filling up the core, which is what it's designed for. It's our big storage system. And then we'll create another path using some of the Draconic energy, like the wireless relays and stuff, to create places to consume, to use that energy to run our machines. But right now I just wanted to get it hooked up so it could start storing way more than we currently had capacity to store. So remember that our energy cell from thermal expansion only holds 32 million RF. whereas the Draconic energy core holds 275 million. And as we upgrade this, it'll hold more. So this is actually one of the best storage systems for power in the game, which is very good. And it's pretty easy to set up. The way you set up the energy pylon in order to activate it, you have to set a piece of glass on top of it. So I placed it here and then put a piece of glass on top. And when that glass is placed on top, this blue ball appears. So that is our energy advancements with Draconic evolution for today's episode, which is very exciting. Now we can store all the power. As we get to the end of time for the episode, I thought we might go do something fun. So let me put away the things that are in my inventory back into our RS. I'll keep that. You might notice I have a bunch of torches and 2 of the quantum bags in my inventory, as well as a little bit of food. The quantum bags are amazing. If I hadn't pointed them out, they are part of the quantum storage mod. They're not crazily expensive. You have to make all of the tiers of the storage crates and then surround them in wool with string. So it takes a diamond storage crate, which is just diamonds, with a gold storage crate, which is basically this is just wood and chests with a couple of pieces of metal, depending on which one you're making. And you just have to get all the way down to the regular iron storage crate and then surround it with wool and string and you get a quantum bag. Why is the quantum bag cool? Look at this. Look at that storage for pretty cheap. So I've made 2 of them because we're going to go find some dungeons and go dungeon raiding just to see what kind of good loot is in the bottom of the good dungeons. So I did a little bit of exploring around our immediate area. So here's our home is up here. And I went south and I found a regular dungeon and then a desert dungeon. So I thought we'd start with the regular dungeon. And we'll head over there. Look at that power being generated. Oh, not very much because the sun's down. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to fly over here real quick and I'll bring you back when we're at the dungeon. Okay, be very quiet. We're at the dungeon. Hi, zombie. We don't want any, thanks. Oop, that seemed bad. Okay, we're hiding inside. And I think these have beds. So let's go ahead and sleep and set our spawn point here. And we're going to go down into the bowels. Let's see what's in this chest. Kind of beginning level stuff. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff that's in my inventory. Probably the hardest thing to manage is the inventory in this whole thing. And shed some light on the subject. Here we come, monsters! Look out! Hi! I'm also doing this because we have really great armor right now. The Draconic armor. This should be a piece of cake. So we're gonna just take a look at what we have in here. Here's some instant health. And I'm gonna probably routinely dump stuff that we can get commonly from our own mob farm, and we'll just keep the special cool stuff. I feel like I shouldn't switch the lever. Oh, good, it just turned on a light. That's good. Oh, this was a dead end. Okay, so we're gonna go back here to the middle and take a turn on one of the other corridors. Somewhere what we're doing is we're looking for another way down, and there it is. Okay. Just explore through here a little bit. Hi, monsters! We realized that there's not really great loot up. Did you die, please? Thanks. Thanks. Oh, do I have my... Oh, I left my energy battery back at the base. That's problematic. Because our armor needs to be recharged in order to keep protecting us. So I'm going to use my charge porter. Bloop. Come back here, and I think my battery, yeah, the flux capacitor is in there. We want it back in our inventory so that our armor stays charged. That's very important. But we have flight, so we're just gonna duck back over to the dungeon. I'll be right back. Now that I have power. Ah. And we are back in the dungeon. So I'm gonna take it the loot. Take a look at the loot that's in the upper levels. So surplus shoes of lightness. Feather falling 2 is not bad. So these the upper levels of the dungeons aren't that hard. Like you could probably do quite a bit with some iron armor. Yep, bones, a little bit of smoke. Oh, that might be nice. Let's go fast. Yeah. Super fast. Okay, let's go ahead and go down to the next level. This is where it starts to get interesting. Hello, Bueller. Knock, knock. Hi. We would like to see what quality of treasure you have down here. Oh, creeper spawner. That's no bueno. Oh, see? Heart jars. That's good. These little crazy dudes. So basically, the rule of thumb in these prefab dungeons, in these created dungeons, is the further down you get, the better the loot gets. So here, now we're starting to see iron enchanted tools, enchanted books, leather. In this case, I just want to find the next staircase down. More loot chests, gold, iron tools. Not bad for the second level. Let's see if we can find the staircase to the next level down. Yay for Draconic armor. This is kind of cheesily easy with the Draconic, I'm not gonna lie. Especially these first couple levels. Is that a spawner in the ceiling? Where are y'all coming from? Next level down. Oh no, cave spiders. I hate you guys. All you guys. That's nice. Okay, now we're starting to get into... Booby trapped chest. Duh. Okay, well, watch out that first step. It's a doozy. Yeah, let's just go down to the next level. Here we go. Hi, guys. Can we help you? Wow, there's a lot of you. Fish in a barrel. Can y'all stop with the arrows to my face? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all were fighting. A lot of bad guys. Excuse me, please. So yeah, I would not come down here to these levels without really good armor. We will need more torches as we go. Oh! That's gonna blow up. Yep. Oh, it's so tempting. Okay, the way around those is to actually break them, not open them like Winnie did. Hello. So that was the indicator that we're getting down to the good levels. Now here's where stuff gets interesting because I think these levels are going to have mobs that have better armor, better tools. And they're spawners in the ceiling as well. Alright, thank you. Appreciate ya. Yay for the Draconic armor. We really haven't taken any damage, pretty much. I should check our... We've used almost 1,000,000 RF, keeping our armor repaired. But I would definitely not recommend you take on a dungeon until you have excellent armor. And in fact, like Draconic would be the best. Diamonds! Thank you. We're at Y level 10. So I think this is the lowest level of the dungeon. Spiders, how you doing, buddies? Just hanging out? Doing a thing? And again, if I didn't keep blowing stuff up, this is how we would have gotten down here. Hi! Come say hi. Were y'all fighting? Duel it out! Duel it out! Who's gonna win? Zombie versus skeleton! Oh, zombie wins! Probably because he's better armor. Get him! Get him, zombies! Go, go, team! Go, team! Take him down! Yeah! Good job, zombie! Not seeing any great loot. I think it's mostly what you pick up from the mobs. Ooh, look at like diamond armor. And then the junk in the trap chest. Now we also have, we have one of these dungeons right next to our base that I have not fully explored. I think down our mine shaft ran into this level on that dungeon. So those are the bowels of the dungeons in modded Minecraft. Very cool. I think that is going to be enough for today's episode to wrap it up. Thanks in advance, everyone, for watching. If you liked the video, please click like. If you'd like to keep up with what's going on the channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe. And until next time, remember that you are the shiny stuff that awesome is made of.